to Looking at the Markets with David Modell. I want to talk about a system that I do not recommend, and I want you to be aware of it. It's been used in casinos and also in trading. So let's talk about it. It's called doubling down, and it's also been called the martingale system. Alright, so be aware of that name. And in this system, you make a trade or a bet of some sort, and if you win, you just keep your winnings, okay? But if you lose, you try to recoup that loss by the next time you bet twice as much, okay? So, and then if you lose again, then you try to recoup your losses by betting twice as much as that. And if you lose again, you bet twice as much as that, and you keep betting, you keep doubling your bets in order to try to recoup your losses and make a small profit. And this is obviously very expensive, because if you keep doubling your wager or bet, it's going to add up pretty quickly. And if you're trading on margin, who's to say that your broker will allow you to borrow that much money? All right, so there's a limitation right there. Or if you have cash, if you're not using margin, you'd have to have a lot of cash to be able to even think about using this system. So let's say you have tons of cash, okay, or margin. Could this work? Should it work? Well, let's take a look. Does doubling down work? Let's say you bet $100, okay, on a trade or whatever. So trade number one, you bet $100. If you win, then you're up by $100, and you can stop now, and then you can start all over if you want to. But let's say you lose trade number one, or bet number one. Well, according to the doubling down or martingale system, now you move on to trade number two. Now you're going to bet twice as much, $200. Okay, what if you win now? If you win, well, now you're up by $100, because remember, you lost 100. Okay, now you're betting 200. So if you win trade number two, you're up by 100, and you can stop now, and then you can start all over if you want to. But if you lose the second trade, now you're down by $300. You see how it's growing quickly already? And it's very easy to lose two trades in a row. Happens all the time. Now you move on to trade number three if you lost the first two trades. Now you have to bet twice as much again. You're doubling down. You bet $400. If you win, well, remember, you lost 300, so if you win, you win $100 altogether. It's the amount you win is always going to be the same as the original bet. In this case, $100. And you can stop now if you win trade number three, and start over if you want to. What if you lose trade number three? Well, if you lose 3 times in a row, now you're down by $700. You're wagering $700 just to recoup your losses and win the original wager of $100. If you lose 3 times in a row, now you have to move on to trade number 4. Now you're going to bet another $800. You're doubling down again. If you win, you're up by $100, and you can stop now. If you lose, now you're down $1,500. Now you're wagering your $1,500 just to recoup your losses and win $100. If you lose 4 times in a row, which certainly happens all the time. Now, according to the system, you got to keep going until you win. Now you're on trade number 5. Now you're betting another. You got to double down again. Now you're putting another $1,600 into the pot, so to speak. And if you win, you're up $100, and you can stop now. If you lose, now you're down $3,100. You're betting over $3,000 just to win $100. If you lose 5 times in a row, which can happen, now trade number 6. By this point, you're putting another $3,200 into the pot, and you're wagering $6,300 just to recoup your losses and win the original original bet of $100. And I sure hope you don't lose trade number 6, because it gets much worse with trade 7, 8, 9, etc. You're going to have to bet tens of thousands, and pretty soon hundreds of thousands of dollars, because you keep doubling it. It spirals downward pretty quickly. Alright, here are some observations. In real life, stock and options traders generally have to pay commissions or fees to the broker. Plus you would lose a little bit due to the bid-ask spread. So even if you supposedly won $100 in this example, you wouldn't even really win $100 because of the fees, commissions, and the bid-ask spread. That $100 win would probably dwindle to half of that by trade number 4 or 5, depending on your broker and how much they charge, and would likely be reduced to 0 or even a negative number by the time you reached trade number 8 or 9. That situation is even worse in binary options, where typically if you bet $100 and win on the trade, you wouldn't receive $100. You'd only get maybe $70 or $80. I've seen like $65, where you bet $100, and if you lose the $100, and if you win, you get $65 or $70 or $80. So that's pretty bad. The likelihood of losing, say, 5 trades in a row might sound remote, might sound unlikely, but it actually happens fairly often. In fact, it should happen once every 32 times. So if you play this game often enough, it's going to happen in all likelihood. Even if you have pretty good luck or skill, you're constantly wagering large amounts of money just to win a small amount of money, and one loss can wipe out many wins. In the example given above, even if we ignore the broker fees or commissions, you could win $100 10 times in a row, and you'd be up by $1,000. And then you could have a 5 trades in a row loss, and now you're down by $2,100. Imagine how devastating a 10 trades in a row loss would be, and that can and does happen. Alright, so obviously I'm not in support of this martingale or doubling down system. And if you'd like help with putting together a trading plan, a real trading plan, not this kind of martingale system, feel free to contact me at any time. My name is David Modell, and I'm glad to answer questions about finance, trading, investing, stocks, options, and so on. Alright, you can contact me by email anytime at davidmodell@gmail.com. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube, leave a comment, I like your comments, and subscribe to my channel so you can get the latest updates on new videos. Thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.